Hey guys, today I'm going to do this PSI test on this Mercedes. It's a 2004 Mercedes C230. It's got a w203 chassis. It's a 1.8 engine, and it's the supercharged or turbocharged one. This is the meter, or gauge, I guess you call it. It's a cheap Pittsburgh gauge. A long time ago I bought this because the car would crank but it wouldn't start, and I checked everything else. Voltage was getting to the pump, and fuses were good, everything. So the last thing it could be was the fuel pump. This was about 5 or 6 years ago. So the fuel pump is located under the back seat. It's not easy. It's not hard to get out. It's just that it has a rubber, like grommet or something, around the pump. So that is very hard to turn. Okay, so that was the only problem. But other than that, it's pretty convenient to have it, inside the car, and you don't have to drop the tank or anything. So I like that about the car. All right, so all I did right now, just because it was tight, and I took it off. So I took off this the Schrader valve cap on here. Okay, that's it. I didn't hook anything up. There's a few things we have to do, I think, before we hook it up. Now, the first thing is we have to take out the fuel pump fuse. I'm going to show you where that's located. And then we're going to crank the car because I want to get the pressure out of that fuel line. So when I hook this up, not a lot of gas comes out, or maybe none will come out, because I don't want the smell, and I don't want any gas on the engine. This is an old engine, and all the wiring on here, as soon as you touch it, it flakes apart. I had to put the heat shrink around all the wiring, and it looks terrible. See, this one, it's bad. It has white tape. I don't know who would put white tape on there, but I got to put it on there one day, and this is what it looks like if you could see it. You see that? It's all cracked. Someone been in here, and I guess that's why they were selling it. They probably got it for cheap, and they just fixed up what they had to. When I got this car, I needed an alternator, but the guy drove it all the way home without an alternator, just a charged battery. All right, I only bought this car for $1,300. It had a lot of mileage on it, but now it has a lot of mileage. Now it has like 296 maybe, but we'll see it, I think, when we go inside the car. I'll show you the mileage. In one of my videos, right, I told you about these, the camshaft adjusters, I think they're called. And usually there's oil leaking down here. So if you're not getting a code for a bad camshaft adjuster, don't forget, look at my other video, because you can drill this rivet off. There's 3 of them all around, and you open them, and there's 2 seals in there. That's what makes it leak. So you can make your own seals like I did. Just get like 2 pieces of, I think it's called neoprene or something like that at the Home Depot. They sell it like in a big sheet. Just cut 1 foot off of it, and it's probably like $4 or something. And you cut out a couple of round circles, a round circle in the middle, and then you cut a round circle the size of this. Okay, 2 of them. 2 of them go in each one. Sandwich it back together, and it's good to go. Look, the last time I did that video was a long time. I think I only see a tiny bit of oil over here. That's it. Right? So anyway, I know this video is not about that, so let's get back to this. So first, we're going to take out the fuse for the fuel pump to relieve the pressure in that line. Okay, so let's go do that. Let me put this light on. Okay, so remember, I'll put the car, you know, make and model, year, and everything like that in the description. So if your fuse box looks like this one, I hope you can see that, then what you would do is you would take out the number 4. Hold on one second. Okay, so it'll start from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a yellow one. Okay, let me see if I can get this out. Sometimes you could get them out, but don't drop it. Okay. Alright, so that's the one. Here it is again. Alright. So now I'm going to crank the car. We're going to make sure it doesn't start, and we're going to relieve the pressure in it. Okay, so that's the mileage that's on the car right now. That's not the right time though. I had to disconnect the battery the other day. I was testing the coils on here. Okay, so here I go. I'm gonna crank it now. Okay, so it cranked, but it didn't start, so that's good. So the pressure should be relieved. All right. So now I'm gonna hook up the gauge, and I hope I'm doing this right. So don't go according to what I do. Remember, I'm not a mechanic, so you know, do your own research. Okay. I didn't get this from the internet. I'm just trying to remember what I did a long time ago. Okay, now some of these gauges, they have a purge line coming out from the side with probably a little button on it. And that's when you disconnect it, because when I put that fuse back in to get the PSI to this gauge from the fuel pump, excuse me, you know, I'll have to disconnect that fuse, start the car to get all the pressure out of here, then disconnect the line. Okay, you could disconnect it without that, but there'll be pressure in there, so you know, some fuel will come out. As long as you don't start the engine after all the fuel is all over the engine, because if you have a bare wire, you never know if it might cause a spark. All right, so let's see if I can do this with one hand. I probably will use a pair of pliers or something. I got vice grips over here, but don't, you know, don't over tighten it. Remember, it's just brass. But it's very hard to get your hand down here, so I don't think that's tight enough. Okay, so I'm going to use these pliers, and I'm going to gently turn it until I feel that it's, you know, snug in there. Okay, so that's about it. All right. Okay, I don't know where to put this gauge, but we'll leave it here. Okay, so take a look at the gauge. You see it's on 0. Okay, it's hooked up. So now I guess I got to put the fuse back in. Alright. See, it's in. Alright. So here's the thing. right now, I'm not sure if I should start the car. Okay, so I don't know what could possibly happen, right? So let's see what happens if I turn the key and I make the pump. I make the pump go. All right, I took the key out, put it back in. I turned it again. I can hear the pump come on, then turn off. Okay, I'm gonna do that 5 times, and then we'll go check the gauge. Okay, the strange thing is, the first 2 times, I heard the fuel pump. But the other 3 times, I didn't hear it very loud. I'm not sure if it was on. Okay, the gauge did go up. So that looks like, it looks like about 44 maybe. Alright. So it's holding at 44. So if it wasn't holding, what would be wrong? You know what? Let me, yeah, I'm going to turn the key and I'm going to leave it turned. Okay? And we'll see if that has any effect, like if it makes the needle go down or anything. Alright, so let's do that. Okay, now I heard the fuel pump again. Okay, so don't forget, the key is turned right now. But the pump, remember, the pump doesn't stay on. The pump doesn't keep, you know, pumping fuel right now. I think it only does that when the car is started. So we're just looking at it right now to see if anything drops. If it does, then something, you know, is probably wrong. Alright, so it looks okay. So now I'm going to start the car. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to start it or not. If it starts. So I'm going to turn it off, turn it on. Wow, these cars are very loud. The loudest thing on here when you first start it up seems to be the supercharger. Because if I disconnect the belt, the serpentine belt that runs everything, and I start this car, it's a very quiet car. I did order the 2 pulleys. One is a tension pulley and one is an idler pulley. I noticed that the bearings are starting to wear out, and I see metal shavings inside, you know, around the plastic of the pulley. So if you're looking at all these lights, there was a short circuit in here at one time, but all the light bulbs blew out. So I just left them like that. But anyway, that's why you see this thing lighting up like a Christmas tree, and it's because it needs bulbs. Okay. So let's go outside. The car's still running. I don't know if you can hear it or not. I don't see any gas leaking. But this is the PSI. So it looks good. It's actually over 50 now. And like I said in the other video, this engine has a vibration. Like right now, it's vibrating. But you just can't see it. Let me see if I put the phone on it, if you could see the phone vibrate. It does move, but it's 10 times worse when the air conditioner is on and you put it in drive. This thing trembles like crazy. Alright, so that's pretty good then. Right? More than 50. Alright, so let's shut it off. You know what? Let me rev up the engine. Turn it back on. I'll rev up the engine, then we'll go back out again. Okay, so when you shut it off, it drops a little bit, but you know, that's normal, of course. As long as it doesn't keep dropping. I think there would be a problem if it did. Okay, so that's not the problem for my car trembling. You know, I thought it was low fuel, but I'm thinking this. You know, some guy posted a video on YouTube, and he said that he's only getting about 20-something PSI. And I think it was a Honda, I'm not sure. And I asked him a question, but he never answered. I asked him this question. I asked him, even though you have only, you know, about 32 PSI, are you still able to go about 50, 60 miles an hour with the car? Or does it, you know, start bogging down? You know, and I'm really curious to know, because maybe after the car is started and you're driving, you know, maybe that's enough to go, you know, 50, 60 miles an hour. But, you know, I would think that the injectors wouldn't spray out correctly. They would spray more like a hose, you know, a thick stream, or a few thick streams, like a lot squirting out. instead of like a fine mist. I think you know, you definitely need at least 50 PSI to make each injector spray a mist, you know, because that's when you know your car's gonna run good, you know, and your injectors are good. But you know, I don't know. I could still have a bad injector in here. If these are the original injectors, you know, how long could they really last? If there's something inside of them that's moving, opening and closing, then you know it's got to wear out sometime, right? Anything that moves is going to wear out. So anyway, that's about it. If you want to, you know anything else, let me know. Um, all right, so here it is again, still holding. Give you a shot of this crappy engine over here before I go. Alright guys, take care.